happy 2021. It has been a long time. I miss you all and I know you miss me. Stay tuned. Lots of videos coming soon. This video that you're about to see was previously recorded and I'm just getting the chance to upload it now. It's been a minute. Lots to talk about. So stay tuned, stay blessed, and you know what? Celebrate life. Because you only live once and so much is unpredictable right now. So let's count our blessings. Let's get comfortable being uncomfortable, because you know what? That's where growth happens, and that's where we allow God to work his fantastic, phenomenal miracles forever and always. Love you all, and I'll see you soon. Hey family, wanted to come on really quickly and just share some things with you. I know it's been a rough week for me. Actually, let me rephrase that. It has been a character building week for me, and I wonder how exactly it has been for you. So thank you for joining me today. It has been one of those weeks where at some point I felt like, who am I and what is happening? Because I just did not feel like myself. Can we relate? My emotions were off, my center was off, and I kept trying to find myself back there. Meditation, breathing, talking to someone, which even ended up being just a not so good experience, which caused me to realize that there was something deeper that was going on there. In weeks like this, in times like this, when things are a little bit chaotic and things are not quite how we would desire, it's the perfect opportunity to learn something new about ourselves and the perfect opportunity to grow. So I'm going to title this message, Getting Comfortable with Being Uncomfortable. As human beings, it's natural, it's normal to want comfort. It's natural to want things to go smoothly and at ease and just be in a space of total zen. But that's a place that we get to visit. We don't get to stay there. It takes work, right? It takes work to make your way back to center. Now, if we lived in utopia, or if we lived in a world all by ourselves, it may be easy to stay in a place of zen, but we coexist, and therefore we are always fighting to get back to center and fighting for our peace. But there are things that we can learn from being off center. There are things that we can learn from being uncomfortable. For one, you can absolutely learn a lot about yourself, your character, what are your triggers and why. And for two, once we've begun to answer those questions, it is the perfect opportunity for growth. Research tells us that being in a place of ease and comfort for long periods of time can cause us to get lazy. It can cause boredom to kick in. And while it sounds good and it feels good in moments, if we stay there, we cripple our ability to grow and stretch ourselves to new heights, to new territories. If we rest too long, the weeds take the garden. So while we want to get comfortable and just kick back and relax, we can't stay there. Gotta get up, gotta keep moving, gotta keep growing, gotta keep stretching new heights and new territories. As the seasons change, we have to change with it. Growing happens outside of our comfort zone. Think about it like working out. It hurts. We feel the muscle aches, we feel the tension, but the rewards are beautiful. Or maybe you want to change your eating habits and now you have to put yourself on a strict schedule, on a selective diet, and we get a little grumpy because we can't eat the things that we love. However, at the end of the day, whatever your goal is, whether it's to cut back on the sugar, whether it's to tighten up a little bit, whether it's to cut back on the carbs, the end results are rewarding. And all the work that we've put in, the sacrifice, the uncomfortableness, ends up being so worth it in the end. In order to get something, we have to give something or give up something. And sometimes that giving up we may not be willing, but it is necessary. And sometimes life takes it from us, takes those things from us when we least expect it and when we don't want to. Have you ever been in a space of your life where you felt like you had it all together? You had it all together. You knew exactly what you were going to do, when you were going to do it, up until a certain point, and you're left in a space of wondering what's next. You go from having a job to not having a job, from living in an amazing apartment to being homeless, from making over 6 figures to making less than you did 5 years ago. What do you do when your season changes? How do you cope? How do you find hope? How do you find rest? When your body starts hurting, when your skin starts to break out, when you're combing your hair and you part a section one day and there's a bald spot, what do you do? What do you do when everything you love and everyone you love are now thousands of miles away because you had to move to take that new opportunity? Your season changed. What do you do? I was doing some research online about what it means to be comfortable. And a lot of the information that I was able to find spoke a lot about how much staying in a place of ease and rest indirectly causes us to become lazy. We want to stay in those zones. We want to stay in that space. And then one day you look up and this great sense of boredom has overtaken you. And some people, for them, they don't understand that it's not okay to remain in a state of ease and comfort. It's not. You're not growing. You're not developing. You become stagnant. And so you really have to, with everything within you, train yourself to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to put yourself purposely and intentionally outside of your comfort zone in order to grow. And as I mentioned before, everything in life changes. Nothing stays the same. And so even when you don't want to change, the only thing that's constant is change. Are you familiar with the Badwater Ultra Marathon? So this marathon takes place midsummer in the heat of July, right out there in California in a Death Valley, Badwater Basin in California's Death Valley. It's a 135-mile marathon. That's right, 135 miles marathon. It's described as the world's toughest foot race, starting at 279 feet below sea level. 279 feet below sea level and ending at about 8,000 feet elevation. So the weather conditions when this marathon happens, it's about 130 degrees Fahrenheit in the heat of the summer, extreme conditions. They know the likelihood of many people winning or succeeding, finishing this marathon is very slim. And the few that are able to make it through are the ones that have trained themselves to make it through extreme conditions. It's a grueling experience. I don't know if I would do it. David Goggins, one of the marathon's race winners, I believe he won in 2018, speaks about his philosophy on life. I have never taken the easy way. I have had to fail several times before I succeed at something. And sometimes it was at no fault of my own. But I run, bike, all of the above because I hate it. By hating it and doing it, I grow. I know that people will never understand that, but that is the way I live my life. Why choose something you like to do? Because it's fun? How do you grow as a person? By doing fun things. You grow by testing yourself, by testing your mind to go where it doesn't want to. If you take the easy road, you get easy results. You don't expect anything out of yourself. If you take the hard road and you make yourself get through it, you will expect more out of yourself every day of your life. If you don't achieve and let people keep you down, you will stay down. Not me. I choose to get back up every time. I choose to look the unwanted in the face. I choose to go after the unwanted with a smile. I choose to suffer, and from suffering, I grow. So yes, comfort can be a bad thing. He chooses to put himself in uncomfortable positions so that he can grow. In these past couple years, I have learned to put myself in uncomfortable positions so that I can grow. I traveled solo for the first time. Was I scared? Absolutely. As a chocolate woman, a black woman in a foreign country all by myself, absolutely I was scared. But I made up my mind that I was going to feel the fear and do it anyways, just like Susan Jeffers, because I think so much of life that is worth living is outside of the zones of comfort. And people are afraid of what they don't know. We all have some fear of the unknown. But how will we know if we never try? How will we know if we don't push ourselves? How will we know if we don't get comfortable with being uncomfortable? Do you know some eagles learn to fly on their way down? What do I mean by that? That means at some point, the mother eagle pushes the baby eagle out of the nest, falling on its way down in hopes that it will spread those wings and fly. But before the eagle crashes, in the event that the wings don't open up, mother eagle comes right in to catch that baby eagle on her back and take it right back up to the nest. But they learn, many of them, by being uncomfortable, by being dropped unexpectedly. There's a push and you're falling feet down, and you have no other choice but to spread your wings in order to survive. But if not, mom got you. At least in the eagle's world. And some of us out here, we definitely learn to fly on the way down. We learn those skills of thriving, of survival, when we hit rock bottom. And when you hit rock bottom, you know the only place that's left to go is up. And when you hit rock bottom and you have to start all over again, you know that no matter what happens, should you ever hit rock bottom again, you know exactly how to pull yourself up. You know exactly what to do to never give up. And so I encourage us. Growth happens outside of our comfort zone. We can connect it to the Bible, where God talks about the testing and trying of our faith produces character. We can take it back where he says that trusting and believing that all things work together for a good. It may not look good, it may not feel good, but there's some good that's coming from it. It's either doing some good outside of us, or he's using that process to do some good inside of us. Be anxious for nothing. Anxious for nothing. But with prayer and supplication, let thy requests be made known unto God. So what do we do? What do we do in these moments where life is chaotic, where things are happening that are out of our control, where our skin is breaking out, where we find the bald spot, where we've lost the job, or we've got the new one and we've made the move and we're feeling alone? What do? We surrender. We learn to grow in being uncomfortable. And we learn that uncomfortable moments are moments of transition, are moments of development, developing a stronger and a better you, a better me, a better we. I'm going to leave us off with a devotional here because it is so important to tie it all in with the Word of God, because we know that God loves us and that he has us covered, and that is nothing but the ultimate truth. Taking it back to the Beauty in My Brokenness devotional. In conclusion, it's amazing how the pains you experience from the obstacles you face in life are all a part of your process. The process includes the shaping and molding of your character. There is a purpose for your process. God uses every painful situation you face to prepare you for your purpose. Everything you have gone through is for a reason. I know that you don't understand it right now, but there's a purpose behind that pain, the pain that you're facing or you have faced. I know it gets hard sometimes, and the journey can be lonely, but when you lean and depend on God, he will see you through. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Continue to trust him. You will overcome great pain, mental and emotional suffering, and torment. You are more than a conqueror through Christ. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. I will bless you with a future filled with hope, a future of success and not of suffering. Be encouraged, family. Be blessed. You are amazing. You are worth it. You are loved. And this process, this pain, this being uncomfortable, it is all for our gain. It is all for our purpose. And so when we can get comfortable with being uncomfortable, God's going to develop something amazing within us. And it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before we see it on the outside. So stay lifted, shine your light, and I'll see you soon. Each one, reach one, teach one. Love and blessings, y'all. Thank you so much, always, for tuning in and watching.